Hello to you all. This is Oromia Broadcasting Network News and I'm Thomas Kamulat. First, the headlines. Dr. Abiy Ahmed marks his first 100 days as Premier of Ethiopia. In the first 100 days in office, Prime Minister Dr. Abiy Ahmed could shape the political landscape of Horn of Africa. Now news in detail. Several countries' ambassadors in Ethiopia held all-round changes Dr. Abiy Ahmed has registered in the first 100 days in his premiership. Leta Teresa has more on this.
Chinese general military strategist, writer and philosopher Sun Tzu said, "The highest art of military is winning without fighting." Within 100 days, Ethiopia is able to win the heart of neighboring countries and Far East through war of love. Prime Minister of Ethiopia, Dr. Abiy Ahmed, since his swearing ceremony, has paid various official visits to the countries of Horn of Africa and then the Far East. The Premier has been playing indispensable role in strengthening diplomatic ties with various countries. Greek ambassador to Ethiopia, Nikolaos Patakias, stressed that implementing the Oromo Gada system in national leadership is a solution for everything else.
Ethiopia is a diverse country. So the Gada system ensured that this knowledge in specific parts of the land will be conserved and also serve to the best interests of the people living there. You could combine the Gada system with a central system or with, its state system. So each one helps the other. It's a complementary. That's what I want to say. That's why I think they did very well to include it in the list.
It was to be recalled that Dr. Abiy Ahmed had paid visit to Egypt to build trust between the two countries. Egyptian ambassador to Ethiopia, Abubakar Hevni Mohamud, has appreciated the talent and brilliant mind of Prime Minister Dr. Abiy Ahmed, relating him with former Egyptian President Anwar Sadat.
I have the honor to meet Dr. Abiy once, and I find him a very intelligent person, very knowledgeable of all the files. I can see from his decisions that he is determined, that he wants to change things, not by small pieces, but with, of course, is a lesson for Africa, for democracy. Democracy is very important. Democracy, we cannot implement a democracy like Europe or like he reminds me very much of President Sadat when he came to power after President Nasser. And everybody was seeing what he's going to do. This man, we don't know him, what did he do? And then what Sadat have done in Egypt in 10 years is unbelievable. I mean, he have changed Egypt completely. And I think that this is the good thing of changing and putting new blood.
Turkish investors are playing a leading role in investing in Ethiopia than other countries. Turkey and Ethiopia have a long-time friendly relationship. Turkish ambassador to Ethiopia, Fatih Olusoy, said he's delighted over the ongoing progress in leadership of Premier Dr. Abiy.
We are very happy to see that things are getting back on track. In many aspects, Ethiopia is becoming an example for many other countries in Africa and elsewhere. So with this peaceful transition of power, again, Ethiopia constitutes an example for others.
The European Union has also been working cooperatively with Ethiopia on democracy, human rights, as well as gender issues. Chairman of EU officials in Ethiopia, Ambassador Johan Borgestam, has recognized the changing policy of the Prime Minister.
The European Union welcomed the clear pledges by Prime Minister Dr. Abiy Ahmed to promote democratic reforms, to promote the rule of law, to promote human rights, as well as his invitation to the Ethiopian opposition to engage with the Ethiopian government. The European Union continues to strongly support governance reform in Ethiopia through engaging with government as well as with civil society.
The 100 days of the Prime Minister's leadership mainly focused on diplomatic relations. He is able to bring tremendous change in this regard. The Prime Minister has played a considerable role in ensuring national interest. For instance, he agreed with Djibouti to use seaport and agreed with Eritrea to use Assab, agreed with Egypt on Grand Ethiopian Renaissance Dam. The Arab Emirate has also agreed with Ethiopia to invest in the country.
In his first 100 days, Prime Minister Dr. Abiy Ahmed has registered remarkable improvements in advancing democratic system and changing the political landscape of the country. Anwar Khalil has the detail.
Prime Minister Dr. Abiy Ahmed has done many remarkable activities in politics in his 100 days in office. His first ever speech to the House of People's Representatives as Prime Minister of the country attracted the attention of many politicians, activists, neighboring countries and all Ethiopians. After Dr. Abiy assumed the office, prominent political figures including Andargacho Tsege have been released from prison. This young Prime Minister has also invited opposition political party members, as he called them, contesting or competent political parties, to the National Palace. Within his 100 days in office, the state of emergency was lifted. He made OLF, ONLF, Gumbot Sabat, and ISAT and OMN have been cancelled from the list of terrorist groups once labeled as terrorists by the House of People's Representatives. Leaders of political parties in exile like ODF, OFIO, OLF have come home based on the call from the Premier. Oromia Media Network, OMN, once accused by the government, got freedom and has opened its branch office in Finfinne City, the capital of Ethiopia. Prime Minister Dr. Abiy Ahmed has held various discussions with the public in different areas of the country.
Oromo people have the culture of expressing their problem calmly. In rivers, what we are seeing here is due to the fact that they have suffered again and again. I told you that you should not give any chance for thief and looters inside you. Giving a chance for thief and corrupter is totally wrong. It is better when he is changed by your advice, unless and otherwise throw him out from your job.
The southern region has revealed that it is possible to form strong unity and solidarity in diversity, which all Ethiopians can get good lesson from it.
የጀመርነው አዲስ የለውጥ ምዕራፍ ለማብሰር ብቻ ሳይሆን
We believe this discussion is highly important, not only for the introduction, but also to strengthen our new development strategy and to develop our culture of tolerance, as well as living together peacefully. Having a conference with the public will create a chance to listen for questions, to have advice from the public, and to understand with the public.
የዲሞክራሲ ምንጭና ባለቤት ህዝብ ነው። ዴሞክራሲን ከፓርቲ እየጨለፍን
You have raised about democratic system building and called us to enhance democratization. It is a good idea, but democratic system should be built by the people. People should be source and owner of democracy. If we expect democracy from political parties, we can't build strong and sustainable democratic system. So we should make it our culture, he said.
በህዝቦቿ አርበኝነት ታፍራና ተከብራ የጥቁር ህዝቦች የነጻነት ተምሳሌት በሆነችው ኢትዮጵያ
Ethiopia is a country with huge and absolute history that we all get pride of it. We have a country which never colonized and model for the rest of black people. I really feel joyful when I speak in front of those highly respected people of Ethiopia.
ውጊያ ማለት
In battlefield, soldiers do not usually fight. Most time is taken for preparation. It is after a long preparation that battlefield is practically won. Therefore, I would like to ask you to thank people of Asosa for their honest contribution. The workers of the dam are really showing their commitment, so they deserve special thanks.
The Premier has also visited Djibouti, the Sudan, Kenya, Saudi Arabia, United Arab Emirates, Uganda, Egypt, Somalia, and Eritrea. In his 100 days, he did great jobs that were praised by different parts of the community and of the world.
Population is ready to support the new Prime Minister with his initiatives. The fact that the violence stopped almost overnight all over the country, and especially in Oromia, is proof that the impact of the Prime Minister's meeting with the different sectors of the populace is having results.
Prime Minister Dr. Abiy Ahmed has restlessly working to build unity and solidarity among Ethiopian nationalities, and his effort bring fruit. Here is Mukhtar Aji for the detail.
For the last few years, nations and nationalities of Ethiopia were under tensions as a result of political crisis in the country. The country was on the tip of disintegration, which caused tension almost to all of the citizens in the country. Particularly, resignation of the former Prime Minister Hailemariam Desalegn from the power exacerbated the political challenges in the country. But unexpected fortune emerged with Prime Minister Dr. Abiy Ahmed as he became head of the Ethiopian People's Revolutionary Democratic Front on March 24, 2018. He saved the country from desperate disintegration, though many didn't believe in him initially. While sworn in as a Prime Minister of the country, Dr. Abiy has forwarded his voice of hope to integrate and reunite nations and nationalities in Ethiopia.
Our identity has seriously been changed, and it could never be separated. It has dissolved with each other with defense of love and togetherness. Accordingly, Amara has fallen on Karamara for the sake of sovereignty of Ethiopia. Tigrayans gave their neck on Matama to save their country, almost sacrificed on Adawa mountains for the sovereignty of the country. Somali, Sidama, Benishangul and all nations in Ethiopia were dissolved to the soil in Badime to realize sovereignty of their country. While alive, we are Ethiopians, and when we die, we become Ethiopia.
Dr. Abiy has called upon the public to be united and become strong nations while preaching love, forgiveness. The Premier moved across the different regions of the country and discussed with millions of Ethiopians. He has also proved being a son of all Ethiopians who stand for unity of all nations in the country within a period less than a month. The Prime Minister has registered 100 days in power where remarkable and tangible changes were achieved beyond expectation. The nations and nationalities in Ethiopia started to accept the emerging changes without any political difference. They have also promised to be a part of change in Ethiopia. The great support to the Premier in Finfne by the nations was one of the best examples of such a humble deed. They have vowed to stand by the side of him.
After Dr. Abiy became Prime Minister, different nations and nationalities have united ever than before, regardless of religion and other difference, through love and mutual understanding. I need the unity of Ethiopians. Our people by themselves are love. Dr. Abiy has been washing our spirit by love. We have to play our level best to realize this plan.
Dr. Abiy has also appreciated and thanked participants of the support rally in Finfinne.
The 2-day support and thankful day would climb us to where we deserve to be, and it laid a cornerstone for the journey ahead. We would like to thank those who lost their so sweet life to bring us to this prideful day of freedom.
Among remarkable achievements of Dr. Abiy Ahmed in his first 100 days as Prime Minister of Ethiopia is the freedom of media is enjoying. Here is Oluma Boyene for the detail.
It is 100 days since Dr. Abiy Ahmed has come to power. In this 100 days, the Premier has done a lot of remarkable jobs in ensuring media freedom. On May 26, 2018, he has moved to Awasa town and discussed various issues with the people. It was on this occasion that the Premier called on various media outlets to come to their country and work for the benefit of their people.
በአሜሪካን ሀገር ሚዲያ ያላቸው ለኢትዮጵያ ዲሞክራሲ እያሉ የሚናገሩ የሚጮሁ
Those who have media from America and struggle for Ethiopian democracy, we want their headquarters to be in Finfinne City. They can't struggle being in their country. Fighting each other being here and there is not good at all. Therefore, we would like to call for them to come back to their country.
Following the Premier's call, the House of People Representatives cancelled OMN and ISAT from the list of terrorism. As a result, OMN has opened its office in Finfinne City. Head of Oromia Media Network of Finfinne City, Tolera Fikru said, freedom of media that has been declared by Dr. Abiy Ahmed is one of the successful deeds of 100 days of the Premier. He added, OMN will work being the part of the reform.
Dirree miidiyaa fi walabummaa miidiyaa mirkaneessuu babal'isuudhaaf yaalii godhamedha.
It has been tried to make media free from any censorship. It seems good improvement in these 100 days.
Tolera underscored that OMN is ready to work based on media principle and for the benefit of the entire people of the country.
Ce'umsa dimokiraasii keenya keessatti haala walaba ta'een haala ijaaf gurra uummataa ta'een.
We come to this country to work for our people, being ear and eye to realize the true democracy. We will also work based on standards of professionalism. Therefore, we are ready to transform the changes.
Head of Oromia Communication Bureau, Dr. Nagari Lencho, also said Oromia media should play its level best to realize the reform.
Harka keenya gara fuulduraatti bal'isuudhaan uummata guddaaf biyya guddaa kana tajaajillee gaanfa Afrikaa keessatti.
We have to think and move forward, being united to play our role not only for our country but also for the Horn of Africa.
Colleagues and close friends of Dr. Abiy Ahmed who worked with him at different levels before his nomination to premiership witnessed that Dr. Abiy registered real changes wherever he goes. Olka Ondumu has compiled the opinion of some individuals.
Dr. Abiy Ahmed's great achievement starts from military role. He was one of the most hard workers when he was in military. When Rwanda's peace disturbed, Dr. Abiy was sent to Rwanda's Kigali, heading with the military members. When he was in Oromia regional state, he brought many reforms and changes in different sectors as well as in the whole region. Some co-workers and friends of him said peace and development is the main principle of Dr. Abiy.
I know him from the beginning when he was in Nagaro. I'm the mayor of the town. He's an amazing person. For your surprise, today's development in our town began when he was here. Especially in 2010 in our town, there were some conflicts between our people, and Dr. Abiy was the one who played an irreplaceable role in restoring peace and stability of our town.
The previous chief director of today's Oromia Broadcasting Network, OBN, Abara Hailu, said Dr. Abiy has played an immense role in owning the Oromo people its own media.
He has played an important role in the establishment of our media. He was one of the individuals who came up with the proposal of establishment of the today's Oromia Broadcasting Network. When we started the broadcasting, he supported us by his own materials and knowledge. Generally, Dr. Abiy is the main actor in the establishment of our media.
Dr. Abiy's role at federal level was great and unforgettable. He was the founder of Ethiopian National Security Agency. He has done many reforms in his sector service and all systems in the country. Head of the Oromia Town Land Management and Development Agency, Mitikud Ersa, said Dr. Abiy has done many great deeds in the Ministry of Science and Technology.
Minister of Science and Technology waggoota 40 erga dhaabbate.
Dr. Abiy is a visionary man. I know him very well. He has done many improvements in 10 months only. He has done many creative works which are unique in the ministry as well as in the country. Ethiopian Space Science Institute was formed by him.
In Oromia Regional State Government, he has done many great and unforgettable deeds. He and his colleague, President of Oromia Regional State Government, Lamma Magarsa, done many reforms in the region. From these achievements, releasing prisoners from jail, solving the question of teachers in having their own land to construct a house, and others were the main achievements of Dr. Abiy Ahmed in the Oromia Regional State Government. Dr. Abiy also worked as head of the Oromia Urban Development and Housing Bureau. Workers of the Bureau also said his great deeds were unforgettable.
When Dr. Abiy came to this bureau, the construction is the same with the recent, but he used to change the layout and every system in the bureau. All bureaus have been interested in our bureau's reform and had a visit to have their own bureau, the same with ours.
Every worker in our bureau has got a special motivation and experience by him. We are very glad by this.
Some co-workers and friends of him also said if all government authorities use their management like Dr. Abiy, this country will develop soon. When some guests come to his office, he welcomes them warmly. He will ask their problem and treat them properly. Our management also have to learn from his leadership style, she said.
I have a special message for his ministers and all management staff. They all have to speed up with the Prime Minister.
Before getting this position, Dr. Abiy always promoting national consensus of the country.
We have no double choice. Our only choice is to be integrated and united.
Families of Prime Minister Dr. Abiy Ahmed witnessed that he was very kind starting from his childhood. We have more on this. Prime Minister Dr. Abiy Ahmed was born in Bashasha town in Garo district of Jimma zone on August 15, 1976. His father is Ahmed Ali and Tizita Wolde was his mother. Dr. Abiy is the 13th child to his family. His childhood life was like other children in their area, supporting his family. He went to school to the local primary school in Bashasha town and later continued his studies in secondary school at Agaro town. As his life history shows, Dr. Abiy was a very interested student in his education and encouraged others to learn and improve their life. Dr. Abiy's father, Mr. Ahmed Ali, witnessed that his son, starting from his childhood, humble and very tough in all spheres.
My son grew up in a good way. He was thoughtful for good work and tough in his education. Abiy is a man of love. He loves every person and respectful for me and his mom, even for our neighbors. He served us by all what he could.
Dafuz Ahmed is Dr. Abiy's older brother. He said his brother was very genuine in Quran and academically.
Dr. Abiy ijoollummaa isaatii jammaree ijoollummaa isaatii jammaranii nama barumsa barachuu barumsa amanteessee barumsa idilee kana barachuu ijoollee.
If you take his childhood life, he gave special attention for his education, both the religion and the secular one, and encouraged his friends. The other unique and good talent was he spent most of his time with elders to learn more.
Some people who knows Dr. Abiy from the very beginning witnessed that he had a vision of supporting the needy as well as encouraging people to learn.
Dr. Abiy hojumaan dhalanne ollaadha nuti akka maatiitti wal ilaalla haa ta'u malee inni xiqqishaan irra hangafa.
I grew up with him. We were neighbors. We are just family. He's somewhat older than me. I learned a lot from his childhood life. For instance, he supported his mom very well. Even he was very kind to their neighbors. Though he was a child, he read various books. For your surprise, when his friends used to play cards, he sat down and read. Really, he is a unique person.
እናትየዋ ማለት ነው በጣም ተውት በቃ በጣም ጥሩ ሰው ስልሽ አይገልጻቸውም በቃ በእውነት ስለ እውነት ነው የምነግርሽ እና እናትየዋ ለሄው ልጆችን ሁሉ ያሳደጉ ናቸው
Dr. Abiy's mother was a very humble person. She grew up all my children as her own. When I came to Dr. Abiy, he came to my home to call me to drink coffee. He was very tough, really. God created him knowledgeably. I have no words to explain him. Let God be with him up to end.
Dr. Abiy was naturally gifted because I know him from the very beginning, almost when he was 15. He created new ideas, he shared supportive ideas and helping the needy. When he was discussed with us, these all things are without training or education. That's why I said he is naturally gifted.
In his first 100 days in office, Prime Minister Dr. Abiy Ahmed could shape the political landscape of the entire Horn of Africa. The peace agreement he reached with Eritrean government is a typical example of his efforts. Mohammed Noor has the detail.
After long year colonization of Italy and Britain, Eritrea was one of provinces of Ethiopia from 1962 to 1993. However, there were material and disagreement between Ethiopian rulers and Eritrean people. The disagreement led Eritrean people for long year armed struggle for freedom and self-rule. On May 24, 1993, Eritrea got its independence from Ethiopia through referendum vote. In early years of separation, the two countries enjoyed close relations. However, on May 6, 1998, a bloody border war began. The war sparked by a battle to control the border town of Badme. This unfortunate war claimed the life of tens of thousands and injured many more. The war, which was lasted for 2 years, resulted with cut off all ties between the two countries and separated many families, leading to a 60 years state of no war, no peace between the two countries. However, everything is changing fast in Ethiopia since Dr. Abiy Ahmed come to power. Prime Minister Dr. Abiy Ahmed pointed out in his inauguration speech in April that there could be a major policy shift in diplomacy.
We need to end long-year conflict with Eritrean government. We would also contribute what is expected of us.
On June 5, 2018, EPRDF Executive Committee publicly announced that it has accepted the Algiers peace agreement without any preconditions and expressed its readiness to implement it. Eritrean President Isaias Afwerki announced a plan to send a delegation to assess current development directly and in depth and plan future steps. Eritrean delegation arrived at Polo International Airport. The Premier welcomed the Eritrean delegation in person when Finfinne City was decorated by flags of the two countries. It was the first time peace talk between the Eritrean and Ethiopian government officials since a conflict between the two countries ended almost 2 decades ago. The officials had a productive talk.
If we approach to each other with love, demarcating boundary might be an unnecessary thing. If we lived in love, we would share what we have together, because enjoying coffee ceremony together and sharing resources is Ethiopian neighborhood culture. In the process of supporting and sharing, other minor problems would be addressed. We know that Tigray people have interest to trade with their Eritrean brothers, the Eritreans too. So the black curtain between them has been demolished today.
The Premier announced that the Ethiopian New Year would be celebrated both in Finfinne and Asmara, and Ethiopian Airlines would start flight to Asmara. Following this talk, Prime Minister Dr. Abiy Ahmed paid visit to Asmara for a face-to-face discussion with President Isaias Afwerki of Eritrea. President of Eritrea, Isaias Afwerki, and the residents of Asmara have made warm and honorary welcome to the Premier. Following this landmark meeting between the two countries, Ethiopia and Eritrea have agreed to restore relations that aimed at ending decades of diplomatic and armed strife.
ከእንግዲህ በኋላ ለኢትዮጵያውያንና ለኤርትራውያን ጦርነት አይበጅም አያስፈልግም።
From now on, war is not good and has no any importance for Ethiopians and Eritreans. What is important for us is love, which wouldn't need to import from abroad. Today, we have seen that there is nothing we can't achieve with love and forgiveness. I would like to express my heartfelt condolence for Eritreans' family who lost their loved ones on the war. From now on, we would never promote conflict, and we would strive to utilize our development potential to transform people of the two countries.
The leaders have signed a joint peace agreement.
አየር መንገዶቻችን ስራ እንዲጀምሩ ወደቦቻችን ስራ እንዲጀምሩ ህዝቦቻችን እንዲቀያየሩ
We agreed that the airline will start operating. The ports will be accessible. People can move between the two countries and the embassies will be open. We will demolish the wall and with love build a bridge between the two countries. If there is peace between Ethiopian and Eritrean people, the Horn of Africa region will be a region of peace and development. Our people who live as refugees in humiliation will back with dignity. Our citizens will not be sold and exchanged like commodities.
Eritrean President Isaias Afwerki, for his part, said the two countries would face challenges and opportunities together.
Congratulations, Dr. Abiy. We are together in the future journey. We will confront challenges and opportunities together and win together. Above all, congratulations to the people of Ethiopia and the people of Eritrea.
Direct international telephone connection has been restored between Ethiopia and Eritrea for the first time after 2 decades. The move has sparked a light of hope among people of both countries who were displaced, separated from their families, and economically ravaged as the war hampered trade activities in the border areas. According to economists, this would have great impact on the economy of both countries. Ethiopia has one of the fastest growing economy on the continent, but has been landlocked since 1993. If the two countries solve their difference, Ethiopia will get access to ports and Eritrea will benefit from the trade. Peace initiative by Ethiopian Prime Minister hoped to transform the Horn of Africa region. International community like African Union, United Nations, European Union, United States, and others have hailed the decision of the two countries.
Well, that's all for now. Many thanks for joining us. Have a good time.